My name is Natalie Casey, and I'm a French teacher at Islam High School. In the back, you will see actually our school website for Islam Public Schools running. I have been teaching for 17 years at Islam High School, and I'm teaching French. Let me give you a quick introduction of my classroom since I'm sitting here doing my video. Here we go, just a sec. So behind me you see my whiteboard, and if I go now around and turn around, you see the rest of the whiteboard, and then you come to my desk area. This is where I spend a lot of my time. I have two kind of desks, one with a computer on and one where I have my working area. In the background of that you also see some posters of the Little Prince, Le Petit Prince. Then we're coming to a big blue board. That's I have a lot of posters and stuff like that hanging from my country of origin, Luxembourg. The back of the classroom you have more Petit Prince, and also on the other side Petit Nicolas posters and poems that my students wrote. Coming towards the side you will have another wall with actually the entrance door coming into my classroom. Turning further around, we're all the way around and we're back at the blackboard. Actually no longer called that, but actually the whiteboard. Let me sit down again and I'll give you some more introduction. So, as you can see, I have a whiteboard in the back, and it's mostly a whiteboard, but it also has some function. Actually, it has a dual function, smartboard / whiteboard. It does have a little device on it. Here it is. When I show you, this device here is actually my whiteboard / smartboard device. That will actually project on the board, and I can use it as a smartboard, but I can still write on it as well. So it's kind of a neat tool. In order for me, so I can use it for two things. However, the only thing that I have to have this pen. This pen will actually maneuver everything around. If I don't have this pen, the board will not work. So it's not a touch board because it's still a whiteboard overall. This is actually a device that is kind of nice to use if you are going on conferences and you want to bring your smart device with you if in case that is not available. I've had this now for I'd say maybe almost 10 years, and I work well with it, but our whole entire school has mostly smart boards. So I'm one of the only ones who has this, and I do not want to give it up. I love it, and I do also know how to operate a smart board, but this is what I have in my classroom, and I didn't want a smart board. What do I use it for? Well, I use it to show videos, maybe like on Yabla here. So this is how it would work. So I would actually just play it, and that would be it. I may also use it for functions like playing games when they have to have a code on the board, so obviously projecting that. I can also use it for any kind of document that I have that I want the students to follow. I may give them the handout, and I follow here on the board. I can make this larger or smaller, so that obviously we can easier read what the text is. So overall, it works really well. And if I want to even add something to highlight, I can do that with my markers. So it's kind of an easy way to deal with whiteboard and the smartboard, and I never have to worry about using the wrong pen when writing. So that's kind of like what I use it for. So I'm actually changing now to another background so you can see a little bit about this is actually coming from my PLE. This is my PLE, as a matter of fact, and this is on the About Me. You'll have a little bit of background about myself. I am a native of Luxembourg, and I've lived here in the country for about 20 years, married to my husband, and we have no children, but we do have our children, our furry pets. You will see some of them that are still alive. We just lost a couple, but Smokey is still alive, the gray cat, and one of the shepherds, the German shepherds, is still alive, Timber. My family on the very bottom all lives in Luxembourg, so I have only my husband's side here, and then I also, the middle picture on the board is the two teachers that I'm doing the exchange with, and this has been, I've been now in contact with them for 6 years, and this is going to be the third time traveling with them, going over to France and then coming back. So that's kind of a little bit of a background for my whiteboard slash Mimeo board when I'm using it in the classroom. Let me also go over to another piece of technology that I use, and that would be the iPads. So we have a set of 19 iPads. We have a cart, it's right here next to me, and the students have the procedure of how to plug, they're assigned to the students. They have a sign-in sheet, sign-out sheets, and we use it, we use it for different things. We use it to play Kahoot, for example. The students can use their cell phones, but I also have them use the iPads from time to time. And we do voice records on our iPads. So if you have the icons, we have the icon or the app, voice record, and the students are recording their own prepared or non-prepared scripts for speaking practices. So I use the iPad card for that, or for games, or for writing. The iPad card is located in my room, but we also have, besides the iPad card, we also have a notebook card as well. These cards are assigned now to our department, to the Global Language Department at the high school. They used to be located in the library and you'd sign them out, but now the library has other functions so that they want to just kind of distribute the cards. So we got our card for the iPad. We have that for a few years now, and then the notebook card is across the hallway in the Spanish teacher's classroom, because those cards take quite a bit of room, and and we're the ones who are the keepers and the people that keep them up to date and make sure that everything works fine, that they're always charged, etc. I use the iPads or the cards, the notebook card as well, when I communicate with my students in France, or when my students are communicating with the students in France through Edmodo. So they do, at times they do activities in the classroom and sometimes at home. But we also have a computer lab, and the lab is mostly when I do recordings for the AP testing, so 2-minute recordings, and then I can collect them all together. It's a one kind of a shot deal. We do have to move, of course, to the language lab, but it's not that far away. So that's one of the things that we also have available at our high school. I did tape over the summertime. I taped some flipped classroom lessons, so we need to figure out how we're going to upload those now, because we used to have Edline as our platform for grades with grade attached to it, and for communication with the students and the community. However, we changed this year and we went to Infinite Campus, which was a little bit of a disastrous kind of a thing, because we just had that uploaded August 1st when we really started school at the end of August, and we had no prep time. So we came to school and we had a whole new platform. Nobody knew how to deal with it. It was a little disastrous, I have to say the least. But we're getting kind of we get a little bit more comfortable with it, but we have a little bit of the communication factor of it is really not that good. So we are now introducing Google Classroom to the school as well as to our students and community. So that should be hopefully happening within the next couple of weeks, and that will be our communication platform, and then we only use Infinite Campus as our gradebook platform. Anyhow, I did talk about videotaping and maybe posting those videos. That was easier with Edline, but Infinite Campus didn't give us that option because you can't upload large enough videos for that. So now we're kind of like stuck in that way. So we have to figure out another way. We could obviously use YouTube and post it there, but we're still figuring out things before we go that route. I use cell phones in the classroom for games. Sometimes I use it, I rarely use it for anything else, but sometimes I use it for Everpol or for Kahoot, mostly for game kind of time. I always make sure that I'm 100% prepared. Everything is ready to run with codes already on the board before I even ask them to take the phones out, because they get easily distracted. But most of the time, since we do have a pretty good relationship and we have an established kind of rules, established rules in the classroom, it really works well. So, and when I tell them just to put the cell phones away, it works really well. So it's really a matter of getting some kind of rules established in the classroom, and then the students are really very cooperative, and they do what they are asked to do. How else do I use technology in the classroom? Well, I think we're getting kind of towards the end here. I know that I would love to be a little bit more knowledgeable about Google tools. I did take a summer webinar of one day, one entire day. It was a lot of information, and since it wasn't interactive, it really wasn't that useful. I basically was just introduced to what is out there, what can you do with Google Video, Google Voice, Google Drive, Google whatever, but it was just too much information, Google Photo, and I can't really remember anymore all the details. Since it was more of a webinar of speaking or listening to only, and then of course you could ask questions by writing in. It wasn't a hands-on workshop, and it really didn't help me that much. It was just more like a platform introduction and nothing else. I know with Google Classroom there's going to be some options that we're going to get as well, but we don't have this yet, so hopefully we'll get our feet wet really soon, and that makes our community as well as our students happy as well. The last thing that I want to talk about is we're going to gear our school to a one-to-one policy, with our students having all mobile devices of some sort, probably with laptops. I'm not sure what we'll use yet. That's not determined yet. We're now in the process of finding out how our neighboring schools, what are they using, and what are their pros, their cons, and whatever. So we're kind of in the research mode, but our principal has even told us yesterday that by probably next year this will be in place. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit smoother transition than what we did with Infinite Campus and Google Classroom now coming up for us, just because it was a little bit stress related overall. So hopefully that will be a little bit easier with a little bit more time to experiment around before we actually introduce the whole concept to our students. It would be nice to have our teachers be a little bit given that time to explore. I would say that would probably be it. I have nothing else really to say. If anything else will come up, I will write it in my on the discussion board itself. So that would be it for me right now. So hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully it wasn't too long, and with a little bit of moving around, hopefully made it a little bit more interesting than just looking at my face. All right, à bientôt. Bye-bye.